detach, and find direction. Detach and find direction. I'm here in Sedona. Just finished up a really beautiful hike up Boynton, which is one of the vortexes, the 4 vortexes. I'll probably have posted a video on that for you to check out. And it just gave me a lot of insight. I'm really grateful right now, getting the chance to stay here at a nice townhouse with this balcony, and the sun rises over here. Tomorrow maybe I'll get the sunrise for y'all to check out too. I got to see a beautiful sunset yesterday, and yeah, made a smoothie. So I just want to talk a little bit about. I went to the spring. And got some fresh spring water that I put inside of this smoothie. Usually I use like a orange juice, but I just wanted to do water, a bunch of superfoods. Yeah. So, detaching from circumstances, detaching from the place that we call home, detaching from caring about what others think, detaching from our old ways and old habits of doing things, detaching from expectations. And not just expectations that we put on ourselves, but expectations which are put onto us by others, which are reflections of ourselves. And just stepping back, taking a step back, because I feel like a lot of times it's almost like a maze. It doesn't have to be a maze. It can be a labyrinth or a path that's already easy to walk. But a lot of times we make it into a maze, this life. And I think sometimes we get stuck in patterns. I know we get stuck. A lot of people get stuck in patterns, habitual patterns of doing things. And these patterns can become unhealthy, and they oftentimes are unhealthy when we look at the state of the world and the state of, especially, the Western Hemisphere. The amount of unsatisfaction, the amount of people that aren't actually able to pursue their dreams, lackluster life, and not thriving, and it's kind of like the parallel that I was thinking of is almost like when you're in a maze. Say you're actually trying to figure out an actual maze, and you get stuck in that maze, and you're in the corner. You're just in the corner, and you just keep on stepping back and then hitting your head on it. Stepping back, hitting your head on it. Stepping back, hitting your head on it. Stepping back, hitting your head on it. And doing that over and over and over again, expecting a different result. So I believe it was Albert Einstein who said, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. And if it's not him, it's somebody, but I'm pretty sure that that's who said it. Either way, insanity is doing the same things over and over and over again and expecting a different result, which is what the vast majority of people on the earth are doing and expecting something to change. And the change starts within. The change first starts with a seed of wanting to change, wanting something new, wanting something different, wanting something greater, wanting, having that desire to know, having the desire to be a better version of self, ultimately. And to do that, we must detach from the old limiting constructs, belief systems, people, places, things. We must be willing to let all of those things go, knowing that none of those things we're actually letting go. None of those, if it's meant to be, it shall be. So these relationships, these circumstances, these so-called opportunities that you may be walking away from in pursuit of something better or something greater that you feel intrinsically within yourself, you're not actually losing anything. You won't lose your friendships. If they're true friends, they're still going to be there, and they'll be there when you become a greater version of yourself. So you'll be able to expand on the lessons and the things and the circumstances and whatever it is that you picked up and gleaned from your experience, from your personal experience. A lot of people talk from third person. Oh, I heard this or I read this, but how many people are actually going through it and experiencing it themselves? That's much more powerful. That's a testimony, and that's what you're doing. Is you're actually a testimony and a testament to being able to detach, transform, and when you come back into the space that you once occupied, you will be different. You will be very different, and that will have a ramifications everywhere around you. Just like you drop, a stone in a still water, that ripple effect lasts for a very, very long time. So when we detach to find direction, it's almost like you keep on running into the same block over and over and over again. So step back and, like I said, change the perspective. Look at it from a different view. That's why I'm such a huge proponent of the medicines, and they don't always have to be a medicine. They can be a tool of exploration. But with the amount of healing that so many people need, first and foremost, we need to heal. It needs to be a medicine first, so that things can be cleared, blockages can be overcome before we start traversing the multiverse. And I think that's a form of escapism that I have fell into before, is escaping and wanting to just, and I think that's even as a whole, people want escapism. They want to escape. We want to escape the things that are our fears or our challenges, but those are the things that we need to address, that we need to face full force ahead. Even the fact that people are trying to seed life on new planets, without actually handling business here. When there's still people starving on the planet, when there's still homelessness, when there's still, these are basic things. Even the earth, being polluted in a lot of senses. So